All right, Angry Bears Fan Podcast, episode 78. Finally, football is back. Finally, we got something to talk about. Got a preseason game. Bears win. Ended early. Hall of Fame. Three Bears. Um, some shocking stuff from the NFL Top 100. Um,
That's
and
just,
just
dude.
yeah,
That's more than anything. Can we start there?
yeah. We'll
Can
start
we
there.
start
Yeah,
with the top? How, like, is it voted on by the players still?
I believe so. Which is
The
it's so
dis
odd. Yeah,
the utter disrespect for both DJ Moore and Jaylen Johnson is absolutely fucking insane. Like, I know to them it's probably not a huge deal, but at the same time, it might be because it is voted on by their peers. So now they're going to play with a chip. They pissed them off.
yeah. I
There's
don't
no way that DJ Moore should have not been in the top 100. And there's
or Jalen
definitely
Johnson.
no
Yeah,
way Jaylen Johnson shouldn't have been in the top
he was
100.
like the one of the top two or three corners all year, which is crazy.
That is
Um,
absolutely nuts.
Even outside of that, just in fairness, like Patrick Mahomes not being number one is ridiculous to me. Like, what the fuck? How's he not number one? Like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Tyreek Hill.
yes, Tyreek Hill's
No
amazing.
disrespect to Tyreek Hill at all.
I don't know. I
But
don't honestly. I don't think he's two, but I wouldn't even say he's two. I don't know. It's hard for me to put a wide receiver up that high. That's like he's great, but he's not. What he's doing isn't directly like they're not winning. So who cares? You know what I mean? Okay, cool. You can get a bunch of stats. We're talking about winning. Like best player in the NFL was usually Brady for a very long time. It was like Brady or like Aaron Donald. And as good as Tyreek Hill is, he's not Aaron Donald to me. But yes, like you said, the disrespect, DJ Moore, like as it kept going, I'm like, DJ Moore's gonna be top 20? Jalen Johnson's gonna be top 20? I'm like, that's crazy. Um, I guess it's more of like a career award because, like, I guess Keenan Allen's great, but I just think we just saw DJ Moore get paid. Clearly, DJ Moore is better than Keenan Allen and younger. It was very just I thought it was crazy that DJ Moore was in. I honestly hadn't even realized Jalen Johnson wasn't in there. Until it was over, and then I was going through the whole thing and counting how many the Bears had, and then I was like, "Holy shit, Jalen!" So I don't know. That was
he was an all pro last year.
yeah, yeah. I feel like
And
all the All Pros should have been there, right? Like,
yeah, like
I have to look at that. How
that
many?
should be automatic.
I
I
guess
just
the players don't know who the fucking All Pros are. They're voting
oh,
like,
they know.
you
They
think so?
know. Oh,
Oh,
100% they know. And it's just the utter, like I was saying, it's mind-boggling. I don't know.
yeah. It sucks.
They're
Like,
definitely gonna be playing with a chip on their shoulder now. Like, you will
yeah,
not fucking disrespect me again, kind of thing.
yeah,
And maybe that's good. But now that that's over, I mean, the list is a joke anyway.
yeah.
Realistically, I said it last week. It's just it still just mind boggles me how they just completely left them both off the list. I cannot believe that shit. It shows you how much of a joke that list really is.
Yeah, and it's I don't know how you get it done. If you feel like the players would be the best way to do it, maybe just coaches. I don't know, but I don't know. Some years it's been decent, but this year it's just very odd. I don't know if the Bears have just been so bad the last few years that they're kind of off everybody's radar. But it's like Jalen Johnson was a huge snub, DJ Moore huge snub. He just got paid, so we'll see how it goes. I just saw read some too. He's like the only player to have his whole career's earnings fully guaranteed.
Yeah, his first 10 years.
Yeah, which is crazy. Is he taking pay cut? I didn't even realize. I didn't know that. Like, are the rookie contracts fully guaranteed, or he just played hardball and got his fully guaranteed?
I
Like,
think he just played hardball and got
probably
his
took a pay cut, cut somewhat of a pay cut. I guess it's smart. He never. I won't say never because I'm knock on wood. I don't want him to get hurt, but he's rarely banged up for a whole season anyway. So I think it'll be a good signing for the Bears. I think it kind of shows us though that Keenan's probably not going to be around. I mean, I think Keenan Allen's an improve a year if he plays really well and he'll take a small discount. I think he might stick around. But if Rome's who they say he is, we won't need him. Tyler Scott looks like he's
And
taking a step at
realistically, you
least.
got to think about it this way. If you take a look at that contract, that's a 4 year extension. He's still got 2 years left on his
Yeah,
deal. So really, he's here for 6 years. He's here through 2029, and that's Caleb Williams' timeline essentially. So he's got a number one wide receiver to grow with
yeah,
on top of Roma Dunze, a rookie wide receiver. Say whatever you want about Ryan Poles as a GM. That was the right move. And he's been making all the right moves so far in terms of this roster rebuild since day one, tearing it down completely and then getting his guys in there doing what he thinks is right. And so far, yeah, the wins aren't there, but this is year 3. This is where we start seeing a little bit of dividends, for that. So if he, if it falls flat on its face, it falls flat on its face. He's going to be out of a job. But as it looks right now, no rookie quarterback has ever, 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 especially a number 1 overall pick, I should say, no rookie number 1 overall pick has ever had a situation so good in terms of offensive talent on paper. Now, the offensive line's still a little bit shaky. We know that. We saw that a little bit in the Hall of Fame game, even though it
Yeah,
was just the backups.
yeah,
We could talk about that game a little bit, some guys that we were taking a look at, but you saw a little bit of just kind of confusion on the offensive line a little bit. There was one guy in particular actually that looked pretty decent. It was one of like their 3rd string centers or something like that. I forget his name, it was like number 57 or something like that, but he actually played pretty well. He had a couple of good blocks, a couple of good double. He looked like he was serviceable. I'm not saying that's going to be your starter or anything like
no,
that, but having depth on the offensive line is going to be huge. Somebody who's just competent in that role in general. But yeah, 21-17 Bears win in the Hall of Fame game. Steve Mongo McMichael today had his, friends and family over at his house for the induction. That was really nice to see. That was really nice
yes.
for the Bears to go ahead and get that victory, even though it was a shortened game because of the rain. Um, what stood out to you in that 21-17 win?
Um, the pass rush things we've been talking about. There's nobody in the backups who are going to be able to do anything, so we got to do something. Yannick has to. After watching that game, if we don't got Yannick on the phone, like I said, he's just mid. So, but we need something. I don't think any of those younger guys or backups are ready to go right now, and we need somebody opposite of Sweat to be able to do something. And the offense, I thought it was nice. No screens. Think, yeah, even though it was the backup quarterbacks, I'm assuming this is a scheme they were attacking down the field. You know what I mean? Colin Johnson had a big game. Some of the other, but they're like, we've got big body, number 1 wide receivers, and they get paid a lot of money. They're going to go up and win those one-on-one balls. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to see from Caleb and Keenan and DJ Moore. The run game looked good. I did notice Roshan was the number 2. Herbert was running with the threes.
Mhm.
He looked Herbert to say. I mean, he's been serviceable. And he's a great number 2, but I mean, he looked obviously like he shouldn't have been out there with the threes. When he was out there, he did really well. Roshan looked good, but it looks like he'll be the number 2 back. I'm guessing it's because he's better in the passing game. He's better. He's a very good pass blocker. So, and Herbert will just if Swift gets hurt, it'll be Herbert 1, and the same thing. Roshan will be 2. But yeah, that's what I noticed in the game. Like I said, I just wasn't happy with the defense. I know it's a preseason game, but and the backup, so we'll see. But I want to see some pass rush. Booker really didn't do anything. Pickens didn't really do anything.
I mean, Booker had a strip sack.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying he had that one nice play, but he was getting by. Oh, I was really locked in on him, and yes, he had a strip sack, but he was getting bodied a lot of the time. I think he was just running up the field trying to out edge rush people, and that's just not going to work. And
Yeah,
Pickens was just getting mauled.
he's got to develop a counter.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And sometimes if that's your move, that's your move. I think you just gotta pick a better angle and get your hips low and like dip and go around instead of like trying to speed around him. You're more so trying to beat him to the spot and get low. And if he pancakes you, he pancakes you. But it's the same as you running yourself out of the fucking play anyway. But you did see the flashes of the athleticism though, and maybe with the ones and with Sweat on the other side, maybe it will be different. I don't know. But I just wanted to see some pass rush, and I don't think it really was there. Mills was dotting us up to start the game.
Yeah, I think Colin Johnson making a name for himself, being on the practice squad last year. He's trying to fight for that wide receiver 5 or wide receiver 6 role. Dante Pettis might be out. If
I
Colin
think it's
Johnson,
Fellis Jones. I mean, they just signed Carter. I don't see him leaving. That'd be weird. I think we like Pettis for special teams reasons. So I don't know, but we'll see. Colin Johnson did ball out. Honestly, when I saw the end of the game stats, it felt like I was like, damn, that's it. I felt like he had 120 yards in that game. It was just 3 catches for 50 or 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Some big body catches. He's a big body wide receiver, but it's gonna be interesting to see what we're gonna keep 6.
yeah, I think we're
Um,
gonna keep 6.
and 4 already locked in. More Keenan Allen, Tyler Scott, and Roma Dunze locked in. They're not getting cut. I would probably I would like to throw DeAndre Carter in there just because they went out and got him just like a couple months ago. Like they weren't, if they didn't have something in mind for him, I would be surprised. It doesn't seem very Bulls like to
Well,
sign some
that's the
guy,
thing
cut him
too, is
2 weeks
that
later.
realistically, Bayless, he didn't even dress.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. What the fuck are you not dressing for? Like, even if you're hurt, you got to go out there. Like,
well, no, what I'm saying is he didn't dress, so he's got to be quote unquote starter. You know what I'm saying? Because they played none of their starters,
no,
regardless if he was a quick
I'm guessing he
returner or
didn't dress
not.
because he was hurt, not because he was a
He's
starter.
he wasn't hurt.
He's just a
Nobody was hurt.
DMP.
Nobody was
Wait, I thought
deactivated
Nate
or
Davis
nothing.
and Tevin were hurt.
Well, besides that, I'm talking about
Okay.
Bayless being
Oh, he
they.
was just a DMP. Well, that's interesting then. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know because even Tyler Scott played. I guess no, he didn't play. No, Tyler Scott didn't
No,
play.
no,
Um,
Tyler Scott did play. He returned. He took a couple of kick returns.
okay, but he wasn't out a wide receiver at all, right?
No,
Okay, yeah, I thought
no.
so.
So
Um,
realistically, it just seems like they're gonna have Bayless return kicks, and I don't know. I like that's
yeah, I
to
don't
me
know.
that's I I
But
wouldn't trust
what
it
do they get
again.
Carter for? I thought they got Carter. We'll see. I don't. I'm
Well,
gonna
they
like.
have two. I think there's two returners back there. The way
Yeah,
that it's
but
lined up, you know what I'm saying?
they've been talking about
Um,
Rome and like I don't know. Well, I don't know. I guess it's just whatever. It's just picking
it's gonna be
hairs or
weird.
whatever. It's interesting. I think Velus Jones is out the door though. But what was it? Ripen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but he balled out. I don't know. Put a little pressure on Bajan for the number 2 spot.
I don't think so. I think Bajan's locked in at number two. I just
Oh, I
think
guess we'll see. He's going to get a whole game, so basically next or half a game next week, and you know what I mean. So we'll see. He didn't look too sharp to start the game off. I think even though we ended up winning the game, Texans' second team really came out firing. I think they looked stronger than our second team, and I think the third team just was better. But Rippin made some good throws. Colin Johnson made some big plays. He played like the whole game. Um, like I said, Roshan and Khalil Herbert look pretty good. I was never unhappy with them. I think they'll be a nice 2, 3. Um, but mostly I came away with the Shane Waldron. I liked what I was seeing out there. Not a lot of screens, not a lot of bullshit. And I'm pumped to see the starters out there and what they're gonna do.
yeah. I mean, we have Buffalo on Saturday, next Saturday. Caleb Williams, I expect him to play. I hope to see him for a quarter.
Well, they
Um,
said what 50 snaps or something like that
50 or 60 snaps is what they
for the
want.
preseason. So
Yeah. So I would realistically expect them to see. I would expect them to play the first quarter, week
probably,
one,
yeah,
well, week two preseason, because that'll be realistically you're hoping for maybe 15
yeah,
snaps, 20 snaps, because I don't think they'll play the third preseason game or the fourth preseason game. I don't think the starters will play.
no,
So you're hoping to see 20, 15, 20 snaps there, and then, play the first half in the third preseason game, um, which would be everybody else's second preseason game, and maybe play into the second quarter and, pull them out there, maybe play the first half. Um, that'll get you about your 50 or 60 snaps, you would think, in theory. That would be nice to see. I think the fans really want to see it as well. He needs to be able to get his cadence down. He needs to be able to call, plays in the huddle, because that's not the kind of offense that he ran in college. They were all called from the sidelines. So, getting your call plays in, getting that timing right, getting your cadence right, playing in front of an actual NFL crowd. It is going to be hostile territory regardless. It's still Buffalo. So that's going to be important. So we're going
yeah,
to see how that is. He needs to get his timing down. He needs to develop that relationship with his center, whoever his center is going to be. He needs to develop that relationship with his center, make sure that everything's good. He can call, his line adjustments, and he can call, audibles at the line, hot routes, everything else like that. That's what we want to see. We want to see the growth, because that's not the kind of offense he ran in college. Is he able to do that? Everybody says he's able to do that. Now we need to see it.
yeah,
Hard Knocks comes out in 3 days. The first episode. Did you see the preview that they showed during the game where
yeah. Him telling
Williams
how much a
announced
signing bonus was,
his signing
right?
bonus was, and fucking Tyson Bagent? That
Yeah,
clip
yeah.
went viral
That was fun. It was
over
funny.
that.
I don't get it though because it's like it's 2024. Everybody had to have known the signing bonus already, right? And they just make you get up and say it in front of everybody, like just to. But yeah, well, that was fun. I'm really excited for that because I think Caleb is a character. I think Rome is. I think a lot of these guys got some big personalities. and I think it's going to be exciting and one of the better ones in a while. I think Poles and Eberflus will be interesting, and yeah, I'm just ready for it. Like I said, this Bills game is gonna be a lot of fun, and hopefully, like a lot of the second team didn't play. Like Terrell Smith was hurt or didn't play, or like there was a lot of guys who sat out that we didn't even get to see that were on the second team. So be good to see all of them play. Like even I guess Tyreek Stevenson is the second team. He's the but we'll get into see him play again. A lot of the guys on the defense, we didn't see any of them. But yeah, what else would I have? Herbert,
Let's
DJ
talk about
Moore.
Matthew Judon real quick if you want.
Oh yeah, Judon. Yeah, I've been
Walked
talking
out.
about we've been talking about a pass rusher. There's an unhappy one. I don't know what he wants. He's a little older though.
He's
I
31.
don't I don't know. I guess I hope Poles kicks the tires. I just watched that game and I know it's a backups in the third team, but those are the guys we're hoping they're going to step up and make a move. Like,
Well, here's the thing. He's 31, same age as Keenan Allen, essentially, right?
yeah,
Unhappy. He's coming off a torn biceps. If I'm Ryan Poles, I'm like, hey, look, if you don't want to pay him, I'll pay him. I'll give you a fourth round pick for him. I don't think New England says no. I really don't. And then it's not like he's gonna be, a $20 million a year player. He's only making
yeah,
like $11 million or something like that
yeah,
this year. You'd be like, hey, I'll give you a 2 year, $36 million extension or whatever, and pay him $18 million a year. And I think you're good. I think you've got a solid edge rusher opposite Montez Sweat, and you get him at a pretty good price because
yeah.
that DJ Moore extension doesn't kick in until 2025. So you still got some money.
If
Well,
he
why
does
not?
that, I'm assuming we're all in on the season. So like, but I want to be. I'm excited. I've said before, you guys been watching us for a long time. I was team Justin, but I'm really just team the Chicago Bears, and I'm excited for the season. And I like look. I keep looking at the schedule, and I don't see a lot of losses unless we're just god awful, like worse than we were last year. Like if Justin Fields is our quarterback, just based on what he did last year, I would think we'd win 10 games just because if we got a good defense, decent run game, we don't fucking beat ourselves, we should be okay. And it's just we play a lot of bad teams. They're talking about Caleb and Rome's connection. Keenan and DJ Moore are coming out talking about how special the kid is, and obviously that's what they always do. But still, it's getting me excited. We got new offensive scheme, and just some new hope. And I want to see it come to fruition. We got a nice, easy schedule from the start. Titans, you know what I mean? Honestly, couldn't really ask for a better warm up week one game.
Especially
Um,
without DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes, like everything's aligning. Caleb seems to be a franchise guy, personality wise, things like that. Uh, he looks like he's going to be able to handle the pressure, and from what I've seen in practice, he looks like he's got it. They keep telling us all when we're not watching, he's even better. And yeah, like adding Judon to the mix, I think will make us legitimate contenders. I think Philly isn't as good. They lost Jason Kelsey, and I think that's underrated losing him. Jalen Hurts fell off a lot from his good season. Like, so the Cowboys have got a lot going on. Daxon improve a year. I mean, the 49ers are always, you know what I mean, the juggernauts, but they're one injury away. So I just want to be ready. And yeah.
Yeah, and who knows? I don't think they've signed Brandon Aiyuk yet, and
No, they haven't.
I think
I
Brandon Ayuk's
think
a very
I
underrated.
think he's gonna be headed to the Redskins, if I had to guess. I think they
He's
say him and Jaden Daniels got a relationship. He was working out with them. He's very
he's
unhappy.
he's very
Um,
underrated. I will say that. I think Brandon Ayuk is
Yeah. I
is a
think I
very
don't
good
know.
player.
I don't honestly think he's under. I just think the 49ers don't got the money. Like they're gonna have to pay Purdy. Like
I think he's better than Debo, in my
at
opinion.
wide receiver, yes, I think he's better
Yeah,
wide receiver than Debo. Debo, I think they have similar value because Debo does a lot of things. And I guess just Purdy and Ayuk got a
you gotta pay Purdy.
connection. Yes, you have to pay Purdy, and what is he gonna get? 55? Like he can't get any less than that. You cannot give him less than 55. So
That's the
he's
new standard.
yes, I mean, well, he's just way more accomplished than them. He could ask for more than that based on what he's done. Trevor Lawrence ain't never done nothing better than him.
Yep.
And Trevor Lawrence has been getting paid right now. Brock Purdy not getting paid shit.
No.
So you know what I mean? In reality, they kind of owe him. You know what I mean? So there's no way he takes a pay cut. So they can't keep Ayuk. They'll probably end up losing Kittle, I imagine, here soon. Like
Trent Williams. Trent
Yeah,
Williams is a
yeah,
holdout right
yes,
now.
yeah. It's like these quarterback contracts are getting crazy. I don't know if they're gonna raise the salary cap or what, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting because Purdy and Dak still got to get paid. Man. Uh,
Yeah.
but football's finally back. It was fun. Like I said, hopefully we'll have a much more thorough breakdown for the actual preseason game. This is just a Hall of
Well, yeah,
Fame
it'll be Caleb's.
presentation
It'll be Caleb's first start in the preseason on
debut.
Saturday. We'll have a lot more to talk about
Yeah,
because, maybe we'll do a Saturday night video just like this
yeah,
one, just
yeah.
because the game
After the
starts at
game, that's what I
noon.
want to do. But yeah, besides that, White Sox were really 19 losses in a row,
18 in a row,
18 in a row. Ugh.
6 away from the record. 24 straight losses would tie the MLB record. 25 straight will break it. You have to try to be that bad. Um,
Seriously.
like I don't understand what's going on. I don't even want to try to dive into that. It's just gonna make me want to punch my computer screen. Like they're
All right.
historically bad, dude. They're so I can't even. It's
Okay.
horrible.
But all right then.
Yeah.
That's all, folks. Like, follow, subscribe. I didn't say that at the beginning. I hope you didn't forget. Comment. Keep it up. We're getting a lot of comments lately. A lot of views. We really appreciate it. We got like 50 new subscribers in like the last week. I
Good.
forgot to mention that. So yeah, bear down, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll
Adios.
see you next week.